Welcome to the C4 podcast. This is Christians interviewing Christians at a Christian camp. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Caleb.
And today we have Lucas with us. Hey Lucas, who are you?
I'm Lucas.
Awesome.
Lucas Boling. I'm a student pastor at North Liberty Christian Church, one of the supporting churches of the Christian camp, Michiana Christian camp. I mean, I've been coming here as long as I can remember. I was a first chance camper all the way up through high school and became a junior faculty at, 14 years old and led the faculty, everything under the sun. We'll cover that.
Yeah. You've had a variety of different roles here.
Yeah.
100%. Absolutely. What brought you to Michiana? Or maybe what kept you here?
Yeah, I was gonna say what brought me here was my mom. My mom and my dad brought me, and I remember one of my first times. They still bring it up to this day. Is like, they dropped me off, and then I started running back to them, like up the road, up the gravel. I was like flying, come and get me. And then like my grandma was there. She's like comforting me. She's like, "Oh, you can't do this to my baby." And then they were like, "Leave him alone, let him go." But what kept me coming back was like the people. I remember when I was a little kid, like the people that would like comfort me and like let me know that it's gonna be okay, like, and you're welcome here and we're gonna have a good time. Like when you're little, like you're here to have fun. You don't know everything under the sun really, and it's just the people really kept me coming back. And then eventually it was like the ministry of like working with the students kept me coming back, just because it impacted me so much in my relationship with Christ and like how I felt accepted here rather than like in the outside world. I'm sure almost anybody that comes to camp can attest to that. Like this is a different kind of feeling inside, at least worshiping with other believers and even if they're not other believers, but worshiping with people in a safe place like the camp, like it just brings you right back. It makes you want to come back because everybody's got their camp friends. Everybody remembers what the cabin times are like or the meal times at camp. So I'd definitely say the people keep me coming back for sure.
I'm sensing a theme with all the people we've interviewed. Every single person has said it's the people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so, I mean, we really live up to the motto of, oh gosh, what is it? Real relationships, lasting impacts, or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like if people's hearts are in Christ, like, and if Christ's at the center of their heart, like that, those impacts are made. So like Christ is really the one moving through those people, and the Holy Spirit like connects everyone together, and like we can really feel that camp for sure.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree with that. Since you've had such a wide variety of experiences in Michiana, we'd love for you to be able to share about them. Share about them from all those different stages.
Yeah.
Maybe let's work our way back in time a little bit.
Yeah.
So we start with camper.
As a camper,
let's talk about your experience as a camper. What was your favorite thing to do as a camper?
Favorite thing to do as a camper, it really, I don't know, talk over my small group leaders as a kid. Goof around. I don't know. I was kind of a troubled child, the one with like ADHD, kind of like making everybody distracted. But not only that, but the activities, because at camp you don't really get to play the Zorbs outside of camp. You don't really get to do paintball or laser tag or anything else outside of camp. I mean, you have those opportunities, but when you're at camp, you're at camp. You get to do those things, archery, all those kinds of things, like the activities. Paintball, the slip and slide. You don't find a slip and slide everywhere, especially one like this.
Yeah, especially how big it is.
Yeah.
How massive it is.
Exactly. Campfires, like campfire with everybody around. It's so hard, especially like when you're a camper, you're a student in school, right? So you're at school 8 hours of the day every week. You're in a classroom. You're doing homework at home. You've got sports or extracurriculars after school. You don't get really a ton of time to just be a kid once you start growing up outside of elementary school. So now, being outside of elementary school, like up into junior high, like this was a time to kind of, at the retreats or at the summer camps, like you could really go back to just being yourself and like having a great time at camp, having fun. Like you could have fun and learn about Jesus. And like the learning about Jesus part, maybe I didn't realize it so much when I was a junior higher because, I don't know, I was just focused on seeing my camp friends at that time. But it really, like you look back in hindsight, like it really did make a huge impact on like how I learned and how it affected my life and what I took with me. So being a camper was always one of the highlights of my year. Like I wouldn't, once I started coming, like after first chance camp, I didn't want to stop coming back every summer. Like, and those real relationships made lasting impact because I'm still close friends and even like learning under the people that I've learned under for 15 years, I'll say. I don't know. Yeah.
When you start doing the math of how long it's actually been, it's like,
oh gosh. I told one of my students, I was like, I was junior faculty when I was 14. I was like, it's been 10 years. I was like, I've been doing this forever. But yeah, being a camper really just impacted my life. And in the ministry aspect of it, like seeing how my life as a camper was impacted by adults who wanted to like spend their time, and as you become an adult you're like, okay, these people, you look back, you're like, these people sacrificed weeks or days out of their work life or time with their families to come and like serve these students for God. Like that's pretty, those people really cared. Like you may not realize how much they care as a camper like right away, but you look back and you're like, man, these people really cared about me. And so being felt like you're cared about really mattered too.
Yeah, and you can tell that they care about you because they'll like lead you when you're a camper.
Yeah.
And then 10 years later when you're an adult, they'll still like contact you. Mm-hmm. They'll still be like, they'll act like nothing has changed. Yeah. They'll be like, yo, what's up, man? Like, how you doing? And
they'll still bring back the memories of...
It's like, I still remember when you did this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh,
made me so mad.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. It's true. Oh, yeah. But I would say being a camper is like one of the greatest things. Plus, it's like, it's not just a starting point, but it is a starting point because like you go to Sunday school and stuff as a kid if you grow up in the church. Some people don't even grow up in the church and they come to camp and it really, like, they're like, okay, there's a different feeling about this as a camper.
Yeah. Like,
people talk about a camp high, but it's like, it's not just a camp high. You're worshiping with other believers. You're in prayer every day. You're learning about God and spending time in His presence, and that you could take that with you every day of your life. Mm-hmm. Like, if you take what you're learning at camp and apply it to every day in your life, then you're gonna feel like you're at camp all the time, really.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think is really impactful. Like as a camper, you learn about that too. Yeah.
So no shade. All weeks are great.
Yeah.
But as a camper, what was your favorite week of camp?
As a camper, my favorite week of camp was typically. This is unbiased if I'm thinking back as a camper. Junior high. Junior high was always, whether it be junior high 1 or 2, junior high was just, it was, for me, myself, like it was a vulnerable time because like of things I'd experienced in school, whether it be bullying or being like not included in things. Like junior high was a safe place. Like I was saying as a camper, like it was just somewhere to always go back to, and junior high itself was just so fun because you're like old enough to where you're not treated as like a little baby in elementary school,
right?
But you're not too old to where they're like, okay, there's no more fun allowed. Like,
yeah.
Like junior high. That's why like it means so much to me to be involved in the junior high weeks here as well, because like these kids can understand like, okay, you're old enough to be held to a higher standard, and we expect more out of you, and that's encouraging to them because they don't want to be seen as like dumb kids, because they're not dumb kids. They're brilliant and they are like unique at this point in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also like you can still have fun. Like,
yeah.
And I love it. And anybody that talks about junior high knows that it's a fun time. Like it's always fun.
Helms Deep from last year.
Even if there's injury, it's still
insane.
Fun.
I don't know what game we played last year, what version of whatever that was called, but if you were there, I mean, you know.
You know. If you know, you know.
Yeah, I know. If you don't, maybe you should come
to
junior high.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or volunteer with junior high.
Yeah, volunteer with junior high.
Or yeah.
Come be a faculty member. Woo. Yeah, but junior high, that either one, junior high 1 or 2, because as a camper, I think at both of them, and I've been able to be faculty at junior high 1 and lead that. But junior high is definitely my favorite weeks of camp for sure.
Speaking of faculty.
Yeah, speaking of faculty, you've been in the faculty role before.
I have been in the faculty role.
How was from maybe junior faculty kind of hit these both at the same time.
Yeah.
Because we've been both junior faculty, which
Yep.
is kind of our introduction for our teenagers as they're getting into that kind of adulthood to kind of begin to switch onto that role of faculty.
Absolutely.
What was some of the things you enjoyed about it, of being faculty?
Being faculty, I mean, like you kind of mentioned the transition from junior faculty to regular faculty. One of it's just like age and responsibility. Junior faculty, at least when I was junior faculty, was always like the brunt of the jokes. Like you had to eat like a milkshake made of a bunch of different condiments and like or like get poured the human hamburger or something. You have like all these toppings poured over you in the pool, or you get your hair dyed or something. But then like as you grow up, even junior faculty, like now we want to kind of show that the students, they can be involved in this, and even though you're young, you can be a part of ministry and teach other students. But like as a faculty member, it's really cool to like see students grow. Like if I'm thinking about my favorite part of being a faculty member is like being consistent with it, and then seeing the students that I had at First Chance Camp grow up into the junior high week, and then see them become my own junior faculty. Like it's incredible to watch like them develop and like yeah, exactly. Nate Fox, shout out to Nate Fox. I don't know if anybody knows Nate Fox, but like Nate, I've known him since he was first or second grade because I was a junior faculty at it was 5th and 6th grade camp at the time. I was junior faculty there, and then I was junior faculty for junior high camp when it switched over. And Nate was just always there at the camp because his family was just always here at the camp. And I knew Nate since he was a little kid, and now he's in my youth group, and he's like junior faculty for us now. Yeah, it is. It's really cool, and so that's probably my favorite part about being faculty. It's just like being able to show these students like people care about them, like especially if they come from a home or come from a place to where schools, especially like school can be brutal. Like school can make you feel like nobody really cares about you. They just care about your grade, right? That you're just a letter on a report card kind of deal sometimes. But like making sure these students know that they feel loved, and like learning too. As a faculty member, I learned so much as a faculty member, in my like relationship with Christ really like shot off as I was a faculty member and I was learning there. So it's always a learning experience as a faculty member, because you're not dragging these students like behind you, like, but you're walking alongside them, growing with them. So that's probably my favorite part about faculty. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that joint growth together is huge. There's things you may not even recognize before you're going into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you're like, oh no, I'm here to help teach the kids. I'm not here necessarily to learn myself. And then all of a sudden you dive into it.
You're like crying there. I'm crying there in worship. I'm like, you're right, God. Yeah. That's my experience with faculty. I mean, I did started faculty or junior faculty when I was 14, when I really could get the first chance to do it, and then God blessed me with just being able to do it every year, regardless of the things that would come up or not. I still ended up here at some point or another in the summer, and I got to be a leadership or part of the leadership team for junior high 1, which just meant a lot to me, like being enabled, and also like as a young person, like I'm still a young person, and we're all young people. It, like being called to a higher responsibility really kind of encourages us to want to take, because we have ownership of it. Like, and so when I was just, I don't even know how old I was, maybe 19 or 20, when I got asked to be part of a leadership team for a week of camp, like, I'm not qualified to do this. What do you mean you want me to plan out a week of camp with you? But then like learning how to do that and like being asked to do more really made me want to do more, especially like just relationship with God works that way. Like if you're given little and you can handle little, like, and do well with the little, like you'll be given more and be expected to do with more. And I think that just plays out into life in general, which is also another point. Like there's so many life lessons to learn at camp. Like I think it's just camp, but there's so many things you can learn for sure.
Yeah, I've never been a dean, obviously. I'm only 21. But I have been faculty, and when you're given like when you're faculty or a dean, I'm sure, when you're given that leadership, it's like a whole different type of leadership.
Yeah.
Like you know, when you're faculty, you have kids that are coming in who need this week, they need this place, they need these moments, and so when you're faculty, you really think about those things, and you're like, I really do have to put like my game face.
Yeah.
on. Like I gotta
lock
lead,
in.
I gotta be able
Yeah.
to lead. I can't be like a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
Like I just gotta lead these guys, and I think it's just a whole different perspective and a leadership role when you're faculty for
Yeah.
a week
Absolutely.
at camp. And that's not just junior high too. Like I know we've talked about junior high just because
Yeah.
that was like the faculty week that
Yeah.
we did, but I mean any week.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a week you're most involved with, but at the same time, I think that's also just a sample of what Michiana looks like in general.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't think there's any downside to just focusing on that one week because realistically, it's the week you have the most experience.
Yeah.
It's the week that you're the most invested in.
Yeah.
Like, it's where your heart
Yeah.
shows immensely
Exactly.
in the part of it.
And that's part of it too. Like if you care about it so much and you're held up to that higher standard of like wanting to transition from faculty to leadership team or being both, like junior faculty to regular faculty. Like junior faculty, you're just given a taste of like how cool this is to be part of a team that cares about you and we want to pour into these students. And your faculty, like you care about it so much already at that point, and then these people are enabling you to do it and they're encouraging you to do it. Even if you're messed up, I was a messed up kid, not doing everything right that I should, but people were still like forgiving and welcoming me back to want to participate, and it just encourages you even more for sure.
And sometimes learning that transition too between some of those things can be interesting as well. Starting out from junior faculty, kind of you're going through that time where you're really learning the ropes of what it kind of looks like to be faculty. Like you have a little bit of responsibility at the same time. It's even technically by the state, you're still registered as a camper kind of idea for that week. So like, while you have some of the responsibilities of that kind of faculty, you also still have to have a faculty member there with you. Like, so like you're never alone in that process either.
Yeah.
Which I think is also huge help.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because like I can recognize, especially if like you've never done any of this before, and you're diving in head first. And now I'm
What
all
do I
alone.
do? Yeah.
Yeah. But you always have that kind of support system there with you in the process of that too.
Yeah. Plus that support system learns too. Like having junior faculty, it's always good to keep somebody young around you. Like I love it because it keeps you young as we become adults and as we have adult things in our life, like it can weigh us down. And sometimes it's nice to have a childlike view on life. Sometimes,
100%. Well, junior faculty also typically are ones that our students begin to relate to even quicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they see you both as kid, but also as kind of adult.
Yeah.
So like they're like, oh, you have some responsibility, but we're on the same level.
Exactly. I think that's what keeps me at my junior high brain. Is I was junior faculty. I'm like, I get you guys. Trust me.
And then it's just that relatability helps so much. In many ways, it's a lot like having student leaders involved in that too.
Yeah.
Like, and I think we see some of that as we get a little bit older towards high school weeks, and some of our older seniors have to step up in some of those roles for our freshmen too.
Yeah.
Are they true junior faculty? No. But are they ones that are potentially junior faculty for other weeks, and so they start to have the idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
So they even begin to take some of those concepts we learn as junior faculty and start applying it to our regular lives outside of it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like realistically, a lot of our junior faculty become then additional leaders in school as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of being the background of the group project, you're a little bit more towards the front.
Yeah.
Whether or not they wanted to.
Yeah, they're there. It's just what they learn. It's like what they've experienced, and they have the taste of that and bring it to where they are, which is always the goal, like making those impacts. Yeah.
Because just seeing some of those, small little things impact lives outside of here.
Yeah.
I think it's an amazing.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Man. Like even those small things for sure.
Yeah. So you've been a camper, you've been faculty, you've also been on staff.
I have been on staff.
So why summer staff? What drew you to be summer staff at Michiana Christian Camp?
Well, I have a love for the camp in general, and that's what it's always like boiled down to. I have a love for the camp, and I have a love for the camp ministry, especially because like it always boils down to my personal relationship with Christ. Like my relationship with Christ really like it is personal, but it's also because like I've had this camp as a vessel basically. Like God has used this camp in so many amazing ways to pour out into students like me, and so I care so much about it. And whether it was, I think when I applied to the camp, I had just always, I had the summer free, I think, just which was like my first free summer since I was, I don't even know how old, and like I was in school at the time, and I was like, I really want to give back to the camp and like do my time at the camp. Like it's, I don't know, but then at that point I was kind of applying for any of the positions that were available, whether it be program, kitchen, maintenance, and I, thank you God, ended up in maintenance. Maintenance is the best. I'm just kidding. They all have their own roles, but camp staff was a huge blessing. Like it, and anybody that you ask that's like work camp staff or like summer staff at least, like it's not about the pay. Like you're not doing it for the pay.
You could work at McDonald's.
You could, and that's not what it's about. You're still getting paid. You're still getting paid.
Yeah.
It's not like you're not getting anything. You still get 3 meals a day and lodging, and it's
yeah.
awesome.
Our pay is free meals, free housing. That's our pay. We don't need.
Yeah, it's more than that. It is more than that. We don't. Yeah, never mind.
It does help keep some expenses down, which is helpful. But at the same time,
it's really about serving.
Who we're serving and what we're doing it for.
And at that, like sometimes after you work a week of summer, if you've never done it before, or a summer out of the year, like a staff, you'll say you would do it without getting paid. I mean, to an extent, because it is a lot, but
I would.
Yeah, it's like, because I come out now, if I ever have a week, I've done it before, like I'll just come and volunteer my time and just work maintenance because of like how much I love this camp, and like, because every role that's part of staff has its own ministry. Like Kelly, who's in the office, has such a relational ministry with people and like talking with people. And Kelly down in the office like has known me since I was in First Chance Camp and has known me and watched me grow up and watched me through these things. And that's what it boils down to. Like the camp's mission and vision is like real relationships and lasting impact, and that's especially like so true to like everything in this camp and the people here. But so office has that maintenance, and Andrew running maintenance. Like this camp has to run somehow. There's got to be some oil in the gear, and like and making sure. And if you've ever worked maintenance, or if you've ever been a part of a Friday cleanup, and if you realize like if you miss one Friday cleanup, somebody's gonna notice it the next week, like because the toilets especially, like you cannot miss those toilets or else they'll just build up and it won't be one aesthetically pleasing. Like that's always nice, especially for parents. Like parents want to see like a camp that's taken care of, a clean camp, not something that's trash. But we want to take pride in the things that we're given and like be good stewards of the things that God has blessed us with. Yeah. So like working maintenance is especially that because like we're maintaining the camp, the look of the camp, the way it's running, the toilets if they're flushing, the showers if they're getting clogged, any of those things, the pool, you name it, like anything maintenance wise, like there's that ministry, and it's kind of more of a,
the grass needs cut,
the edging needs done, all of that really plays into that ministry of like taking care of, and it teaches you so much things, like working staff, like it teaches you things, like if you take care of the things God has given you, like you take care of those things, and God will recognize that also, like and being honorable to that. But there's that, and then program staff is a whole. I could go into every one of them. Like program staff is a ministry in itself. Like these kids want to have these good programs and these games. We think of them as just games, but they're not just games. It's relationship building. Like you're building those relationships with those kids.
Yeah, there's games, but there's also the team building. Mm-hmm. There's the initiatives that they do where they have to work together to complete a certain goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But realistically, also, it's the things of the memories. It's the memories that you have with you, right? Especially when you listen off the memories of things of campers. How many of those things were programs or events or things that we do here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember when I was a kid, Taylor O'Haran was a huge dress up every, like it was for second and third grade or any of the camps, like you'd dress up either as a superhero or some sort of like elf or something, and it's just things like that you just remember forever, like, and they're always going to make an impact on you, and that's really, that's always what it boils down to, that lasting impact, real relationships and lasting impact. But then as staff, it's not only like the outward ministry to the campers and stuff, but it's also to the staff itself. Like you grow as basically a family during the summertime. You're lodging with each other. The guys are up late nights having talks till one or two in the morning. Caleb and I have had with Dakota, had our fair share of those talks.
3 a.m.
Yeah, 3 a.m. And I'm like, I've got tomorrow off. And then they're like,
Dakota like, no,
we don't.
no.
It's things like that. Like you build bonds with one another. Like there's such a camaraderie, like between working and you're in the trenches kind of deal. Like you're in the trenches of working this ministry with other people who also have that like-mindedness in Christ and like are centered on that as well. And it's so encouraging to see people that are also on that same page, because a lot of times we'll go into our lives and our work and we'll see people who don't have the same mindset, and it's not necessarily discouraging, but it doesn't encourage you as much as the people that are in that same mindset. And you're like, yeah, you're kind of sharpening iron with iron in this sort of sense, like a staff. And it's always so good to grow. And I love the morning devotionals that we do, and the nighttime, like whether we're playing Mario Kart in the blue house or having s'mores by the campfire. Like it's a relationship building, and it's always what it boils down to, for sure.
Yeah, especially with the role of like the staff kind of being in that support role.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of very much a different shift from that faculty in that sense. Like first faculty is more all in the moment, with the campers, always investing in the campers. The whole staff is helping to support those faculty, right? It's helping to get them the relief for sometimes they might need, or the support and helping reinforce the things in the back that you're saying along the way. All of a sudden, that additional role helps augment that experience too.
Yeah, and that's for every week at camp. Like camp during the summer and outside of the summer. Like you need maintenance outside of the summer for all the rentals and stuff. Mm-hmm. And like there's relationships that are being built even at Notre Dame with the facilities that are being used here through Notre Dame's camps through the college, and like they know the camp. Like my wife Jess, she works at Notre Dame, and she literally just brought up the camp to some random person. They're like, "Oh yeah, we've been to the camp. We love the camp." And
that's awesome.
It is. It's so cool. Like people like hear that name and they know who it is, because one, like we build those relationships, and you'll hear that word 1,000 times. It's building relationships, and that's what it's about. So it's not only easier to show people who Christ is, but to be Christ to others, shine that light to others. And I think the staff is, I could go on and on about the staff and how great they are, just because they really make this camp run. There's got to be some sort of method to the madness,
right?
And the staff is that method and madness. They're both of them, but it's really cool. I love the staff. I have loved being part of it too. Yeah.
So there's devotions that we do.
Mm-hmm.
There's Mario Kart. There's there's the campfires. What's been a memorable moment for you while you've been on staff?
As a staff member? Man.
I'm sure you've got plenty.
There's plenty, but as simple as it sounds, just like cleaning the golf carts and maintaining the different like vehicles on Wednesdays as maintenance. So every Wednesday, it's Andrew's day off. So Andrew gives us a little list of things to do, and it's just us three. Well, for when I was on staff, it was us three. It was me, Leia, and Dakota Fudge, like all just kind of hanging out and doing our thing. And like we were cleaning up, just sitting in the garage up there and having our little Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time like playlist on. Like it's just the soundtrack to the video game, and like have that on. And then we're just cleaning out the blades on the lawnmower, or we're
perfect scene.
Yeah, it is.
Perfect picture in a movie.
It's so wonderful, and it's like when it's nice out, especially even when it's raining, because there was times where it's raining on us, and we're cleaning golf carts and hosing golf carts off when it's pouring rain on us, and it's such a good. I think that's probably one of my favorite memories. Plus, just talking with them, as simple as the conversations might be, like building those relationships and just like getting to know each other more and being around one another. For sure, those are my favorite memories, aside from Mario Kart and those. Yeah.
100%. 100%. As we kind of like look at all those experiences together, if you were to start saying out to people coming in for like whether campers or faculty for the first time?
Yeah.
What would be your explanation of Michiana to them? The why Michiana would be the place to go.
Because it's the best.
Right.
No.
And we can end it there.
But why Michiana? It's really like, I mean, you could choose 100 other places. Like, it's not required to come to Michiana, but man, once you experience it, like, you're not gonna forget it.
You don't want to leave.
You don't want to. You don't want to leave, and I think that's why those things that are, you're so welcome and you're so like wanted here. That those relationships are super. Like it'll always go back to the vision and the mission there. It's like real relationships. They're real. Like I've seen broken people here. I've seen fixed people here. Like nobody's really clean or fixed always, but like we see real relationships, and it's nothing. I think a lot of times, especially in the church today, people see a lot of fakeness or like ingenuinity, or whatever the word is. That people are not genuine. People are ingenuine a lot of times, especially in life in general. Whether it's in the church, whether it's not, people are not genuine a lot of times. But here at the camp, it's genuine. People want the best for you. People want you to grow. They want to see you shine because they see a diamond in the rough. If there's a rough, like you're a diamond in there, and we know that God tells us like that we're wanted by Him, and just the why Michiana is because we want to show people that they are wanted, like by our Creator, and why Michiana? Because like we're focused on Jesus, we're focused on God, right? Like our focus is. And our heart is on God, and our heart is on Jesus, and spreading that word to other people. And I think it's so important to have that as the heart of things. Our focus isn't on making $1 bajillion. Our focus isn't on being the most famous in the world. Our focus is on loving those people that are here and loving on them well, and like showing them the light of Jesus. So why Michiana? Because it's the best. Michiana is the best. Absolutely. That'd be my why.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to say thank you, Lucas. Thank you for joining with us and being a part of this. And
my pleasure.
Willing to be interviewed.
Yeah, I love it. I love talking about the camp. Why Michiana? Because I love talking about it. Because all sorts of things. But yeah, thank you guys. I love the opportunity to be able to talk about camp. It's made a huge impact on my life. If I ever get the chance to tell anybody my testimony, if anybody's been watching this, or if you know me already, you know the camp's a huge part of it, and like my relationship with Christ, and my life has changed not because of just Michiana, because of Jesus, but Michiana has been a huge like encourager in that relationship with Christ for sure. Yeah, but thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to say thank you all for joining with us as well. This has been the C4 Podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Caleb.
And this is Lucas. And thanks so much for being with us.
Peace out, guys.
Later.
Oh, we both did.
Yeah.